Welcome. It is March 12th. This is planning board meeting. First order of business is approval of the minutes. I have one small adjustment to the minutes. Actually, I'm going to note first, Sarah is here. She is alternate. She is a voting member this evening. And Doug, who is not here. Doug did have a addition to the minute for the Lemoyne project. The line that he added is Mr. Dietz also referenced the campus master planning documents plan, not the future plans for expansion of the Performing Arts Center. Any objection to addition on that one?
No.
Okay, so we'll add that to the minutes. Motion to approve the minutes. Move second. Kathy, all in favor? That's great.
Also the minutes for the 12th.
Yeah, sorry.
Also the minutes for the 12th.
Oh, yes, also the minutes for the fall. Got it. Went out earlier this week. People had an opportunity to read those. Yeah. Any objections, modification changes? No. Approve those minutes. Second. Give it to Randy this time. All in favor? Great. Let's see. We had one work session this week. Correct? Oh, yes, but they did not show up.
Yeah.
Supposed to have it.
It will be on the next one. Do we have any additional schedule for now?
No, not at this one.
We'll say it to the next. All right. First order of business. We've got amended copper top walk-in cooler. Applicant present.
And Dave Slosher, Shopper Architects, representing Copper Top. And at our first meeting, first presentation, there were 3 issues raised. We addressed them all. They're all on the drawings that we submitted here a week ago. One was the flashing, bright flashing on the cooler. We provided a 7-inch high flashing. The color is noted to blend with the color of the cooler. The other item was basically the location of the condensing unit. The condensing unit was moved to the upper roof, and a note put on the drawing that basically all the piping is concealed. It's actually being run through the building from the cooler up to the condensing unit. And the other item was somebody wanted a submission of a sample of the material on the cooler, and that was submitted.
So the sample that color is not the actual color, but it's just a material. So you can see the texture on it. The color will match the building. Correct?
Yes.
The 7-inch is going to be sufficient to cover the membrane.
Yeah, the manufacturer basically installs the membrane, then we have to basically undo it to put the flashing on, and the flashing is going to come up and in a typical detail. The detail is put on the drawings.
Yeah, saw that. Any other questions? I'm going to put forth the motion to approve the site plan last updated 3/3/2026 with the following findings and conditions. This plan presents the plan as presented with a modification to the site plan approved by this board by resolution dated 9/26/2024 and is limited to the installation of a walk-in cooler, relocating exterior wall lights, and the removal and restriping of 3 parking spaces. This board has reviewed the Onondaga County Planning Board referral of 3/11/2026, which determined that said referral will have no significant adverse intercommunity or countywide implications. This board has reviewed SEAF of applicant dated 1/16/26 and grants a negative secret declaration for this unlisted action with the following conditions. This approval supplements the prior site plan approval granted 9/26/2024 by this board for this project, and the prior approval, including all conditions and findings therein, is in full force and effect and unmodified except as specifically modified herein. This approval is made with the condition that this approval is for plans and other submitted documents, site plan documents that have been signed by the planning board chairperson, and the applicant requires that all the work shown be completed by the applicant in order for a certificate of occupancy or compliance to be issued. Any proposed changes, additions, or deletions to the scope of work or materials from the site plan documents are not approved and are subject to further site plan review pursuant to Town of Newark Code Section 192-122. Applicant remains responsible for obtaining any building permits or other permits from the town or regulatory agencies as may be required for the improvement and or site plan work approved in the site plan approval. I will move. Second. Kevin, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let's see, up next we have Pickwick Shops. Applicant present,
Yes,
introduce yourself.
my name is Steve Clark.
Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so this is to be a recommendation to the ZBA for an area variance on the sign. I think this is based on the signs that we saw at the last meeting. There are no changes since then, correct? All right. Any questions on this one? This is a recommendation. They'll have to go to ZBA and then return to us after that. Do you have anything to add, Steve?
No, I'm trying to accommodate and work with you folks, and I think that the signs that we've come up with at the workshop are attractive, and I'm all for things that are attractive. So I'm hopeful that we can get this through.
Great. All right, so this is a recommendation. This board has reviewed the proposed sign application for this project, which proposes the tenant signage as shown on the site plan for 3 signs to be placed 3 inches below the eave, where the code requires signage to be placed a minimum distance of 1 foot below the eave or gable end. This board recommends that the area variance be requested be granted. Applicant has responded to board comments and developed a multi-tenant sign package that fits with the neighborhood and is reasonably compatible with the structure located in a unique area of the town. This unusual positioning of the tenant signage is necessitated due to the uniqueness of this long time pre-existing structure, which lacks a more typical sign plan area. Motion to approve this recommendation. Jenny? All right, all in favor? Great. You're off to the ZBA.
Wow. Well, that's very good. That's great news, and I appreciate it very much. I think that I'm impressed with the dedication of the planning board, and as I say, we're on the same page in terms of wanting the building to look as good as it can look. So,
Good.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Steve.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got 3350 Erie Boulevard. Welcome.
My name is Adam Richardson, with Zosman First Fruit and Agrawal, representing the owner of 3350 Erie Boulevard, East Valley.
Any quick updates? This again is a recommendation to the ZBA.
No, we made all the changes that you guys have recommended. Workshop was very helpful. Eric, basically,
We're getting.
no problem. Looking for a variance for the parking for the existing very difficult site to work with. We have handicap parking on the Erie Boulevard east entrance. Just one spot, someone could pull in straight, back out and pull straight back out. It's the only really accessible spot we're able to get for the front of the property for the deli. And then the rear meeting all new dimension requirements and turning radiuses and dumpster and grass requirements. And we're only able to get about 15 spaces total. So
It is a unique site.
Tight.
Very tight. Any additional questions right now? Again, this is just a recommendation. Okay. I will offer a motion to recommend to the zoning board of appeals that a variance be granted where the code requires 32 spaces, but only 13 are proposed to be provided. This site is very challenging from an access and parking standpoint. The applicant has diligently pursued a site plan that has attempted to address those concerns. The site has long been underparked And several parking spaces previously along Erie Boulevard must also be removed. Right. Must also. Clarify. Must also be removed, safety. Several parking spaces.
Must also be removed. Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to make sure I was reading it correctly. Must also be removed due to safety concerns of the DOT. The general reworking of the site provides reasonable parking considering site constraints and this variance, and is therefore recommended. The applicant will need to return to the planning board to finalize the site plan matters. Haven't got it. Jenny, all in favor? All right, you're off the ZBA as well. Good luck. We did have item number 4, code update for the new use and accessory, and you want to update it?
Yeah, so I continue to receive some comments, so I want to bring them back to the board. And the main, the EV is an ongoing question. Some people think that there should be EV chargers and some people think not. So that is an issue I think that we need to further take under advisement before we make this recommendation and forward. That's one other thing. What's
Well, there was the only.
Oh. Yeah, so it came to our attention that these wholesale retail clubs also have like fulfillment centers, sort of like warehousing, where if somebody calls, they come with box trucks and like it's a refrigerator and they take it and they deliver it. So we just wanted to make sure that the board's aware of that doesn't seem to be any issue. I will say that in a high-tech zone, warehouse in connection with the underlying use, as long as there's a finding by this board that it's not intrusive in any way, it's not primary use, is a permitted use code. So I don't know if anyone had any comments about that. The supervisor wants it doesn't want us, but he is okay with us putting off this recommendation pending any further advice about the EVs. So I don't know if you want to discuss it at all.
We can discuss it now, we can table it and talk about it at our next.
I think we should put the EV in. It's a nice requirement.
So
Yeah.
I think we had a question about the number and stuff like that. I think we should talk about it at our next morning meeting when we have
work session.
the other, the other team members here.
I would agree with that. So let's table it for now. And then we'll talk about it at our next.
Well, let's put it on as a work session item then. Okay. So we'll have it on the public work session, so if anybody wants to do that.
So we'll table that recommendation for now. Next up, we have 31 Corporate Circle. This is a concept presentation. You'll have about 10 minutes. You guys a rundown?
Yeah.
And then
To go. I have to reduce myself.
so Sarah's gonna recuse herself. She is with EDR, so she's.
Good evening, Rob Seeley from EDR. You want to walk that presentation?
Well, I'll look in the corner.
I mean, you don't need to literally stand in the
No, you're welcome.
You just sit.
Rob,
I was just gonna say that we got a dunce cap
I'm under a critique here. Yeah, you wanna jump to the layout. So this is a project that was before you, I think late 21 and was approved in spring of 2022. The owner never pulled the permit within the requisite period of time, so We're back now. He's got a tenant. He's ready to move forward this year with construction. So we're back before you to get a reapproval, I guess. So the lot is, it's 31 Corporate Circle. It's 2.12 acres. It's currently a vacant lot. The proposal is for a 25,000 square foot warehouse building that's in keeping with the character of other buildings on the street. I should mention on the call is Mark Caruso, the architect from Salzman Frisch, so he can talk to any building questions that come up. There's two entrances proposed to the site. The building was positioned based on the loading docks on the north side and having the maneuvering space there. The south face is the more public entrance. So that's because of where the building needed to be for the docks. We have a one-way entrance here, diagonal head-in parking here for employees and visitors, and more employee parking in the back. We have 25 spaces total, which meets the requirements of 2 per employee. Dumpsters in the back here, so they can easily come in and out. And there's an overhead door in the back for like van and truck deliveries. That's at grade. And these 6 docks over here are 4-foot loading docks. There's a couple retaining walls on the site, on the west edge and the south edge, in order to keep the slopes at less than 4 on 1 grade. Got a couple of walls there. Lighting is primarily off of the building with wall packs. We do have two pole mounted lights on the west end of the lot to light up the back. Stormwater is collected around the perimeter on the curb lines. And then it comes out here, and the stormwater management is on adjacent parcel, which is owned by the airport and ultimately the city of Syracuse. Plantings, we have some decorative plantings in the front that are in keeping with the rest of the neighborhoods, trees and shrubs and native grasses. Sidewalk along the south edge, like visitors and bring them to the main entrance, which is there. The building, it's 24 foot to the parapet, I believe.
That is correct.
I'll jump to the architecture.
For the site plan, do you want us to wait until he's done?
Yeah, let's get to the architecture, and then we'll let Mark make some comments, and we'll do some additional.
Mark, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
So I'm Mark Caruso with Salzman Frisch, Scruton Agrawal. And as Rob said, the building is 24 feet tall. We've got on the south side entry doors that are lit with wall packs. And on the north side, we've got man doors and overhead doors that are also lit with wall packs. And as Rob said, we've got 2 pole lights on the west end of the building. And the rendering does show pretty closely what the block colors will be. So we've got a light brown, excuse me, a light brown for the main field, and then dark brown for accents around the building.
How many tenants do you anticipate in this building?
I believe only 1. That's all we're currently showing. But I'd have to verify that with Don DeStefano.
Okay. All right. Good on the update?
Can you go to the stormwater plan? Just want to show the basin, yeah, the next sheet. So that's. Stormwater is, so here's the property line that's to Stefano's own. This is 75 Corporate Circle, which you're familiar with. And then this is owned by the airport as well. I don't know what that lot number is. But so the proposal for this site was to have the bioretention treatment basin on the airport property. And they're going to issue a stormwater easement and an access agreement for the town. So at the time of the 22 approval, that was one of the conditions of the approval. It was drafted up, Jamie, I don't know if it ever made it to you, but Don did have a draft copy of it that his attorney, I think, had drawn up. So we need to.
Who's his attorney? I'll look it up, see.
I'm drawing a blank now. I'll remember in a minute.
All right.
So yeah, that's underway to kind of resurrect that and get that squared away. It's our understanding that it has to go to the common council, Dickey's common council, because they still own the property. So there's a bit of a process there that is underway.
Okay. Mark, do you want to ask Mark Parrish, town engineer, planning board engineer, do you want to ask some questions?
Yeah, I guess so. The when the plan came in for 75, there was a combined basin located on the property kind of south of this, yeah, in that area.
Yeah.
And that was to mitigate both sites, both 31 and 75. And also that incorporated underground stormwater detention. And we were told the reasoning for that was for to prevent standing water because of the nuisance that geese might cause coming to that. So can you speak to those issues and why you're not doing what was first, planned for when 75 was in place?
Yeah, so I think you're all aware that for 75, I think we had satisfied all the board's comments and Doug's or Mark's comments. And it was just the wetland issue that was hanging us up. So we had submitted for the JD. Came back positive. We had to schedule a walkthrough with DEC. They walked the site last August, I think it was. At the time, they verbally said they didn't have any concerns. There were no wetlands here. And since then, they've kind of backpedaled and said, well, we can't say that. It has to come from a consultant. You have to do a delineation. So we have a delineation scheduled as soon as the weather breaks and the vegetation is appropriate to be able to do that. So Don, like I said, he's got a tenant for this building, so he wants to get going on the construction of that. So that's why we're back here now with this original design, because that was neg deck before the current wetland regulations took effect at the beginning of 2025. So according to DEC, any approvals that were obtained prior to January 1st, 2025, they fall under the old regulations, which this one did, and it was approved. His ultimate intent is he still wants to do the full build out. But because we don't know what's going to happen there, he's going to go forward with this for now. And
But now it's showing standing water, right?
well, it's under drained, so it will drain out within 24 hours. It'll empty. And the design down here, that one did the same thing. It had underground chambers underneath it, but the top of it was a bioretention area that ponded, I think, up to 6 or 8 inches, and then would empty out within 24 hours. The airport was okay with that.
So if you're going to go with this design in this location, if 75 were to be developed, this would be located in an area that was going to be parking lot.
Yeah, this falls right pretty much in the driveway of 75. So if he goes forward with 75, he'll move it down to that down below. Sorry, that lot doesn't have a number, so I never know what to call it. I call it the stormwater parcel.
So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you build it on the stormwater parcel to start with and not encumber some?
Stop using common sense. So that project falls under the new regs. So we need the JD to do that.
Okay.
So until we can get that JD clearance, we can't do any work here or up here. We can do this because it was under the old regs. And it was neg decked. That's crazy, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, it makes sense because he wants to get going.
What do you want?
I know, like that I understand, but
So he understands the risks that he may have to build this and fill it in and build this. In order, because this is right in the middle of his driveway for the other development. So yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces here.
and you've already scheduled the BJD.
Yeah, ADR is doing the delineation as soon as weather breaks.
Alright.
But it's hard,
Also need
they're
that
so
data.
focused on it's hard to get any of these projects to the top of the pile, so.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle.
Their slip will have to be updated.
Yes, we're doing that now, yeah. You did get your comments marked, so we are working on those right now.
So are the parking spots look like long and thin to me? Like I saw the dimension on the parking spot. And then when they're backing out, it seems like the road was very narrow there. Like the path, are tractor trailers take the same path? I heard at the
No.
beginning you said,
This is one way,
yeah,
the tractor trailers would come in the other way. So cars would park here and then they would exit going around.
yeah, I guess.
Truck traffic would be
Cars look out of our trailers, it's just that.
Right, so now if the tractor trailers are at the loading docks, how do they still have the turning radius to turn around and get out that same drive?
We did have a turning radius study, did we submit that?
I can tell you how it should be too. But yeah, if we could see the turning radius, because it seems like if the trucks were backed up to the loading dock, that it would kind of be blocked off because they have to turn around.
Oh, when the trucks are parked here, there's room to get past them. And then they can pull out, so they pull in like this and then they back down.
Yeah.
That's not in this packet, is it? I was just scrolling.
No,
I
I-
didn't see it.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we submitted it with the original
I
package.
think with the original, it was.
You did, and if they were the drawings that were all blacked out with the ink.
yeah, I think
I can
I
get
saw
that,
that.
yeah. We did prove all that out, because that was a big
Yeah,
Add that
big
to,
factor in where the building landed, yeah,
add that to your list of drawings to provide
yeah,
truck turning radius.
yeah, that's no problem.
Jamie, they're showing the drainage on 75. Do the plans need to show the entirety of 75 on them?
How big is the? What else is on it?
Whole parcel.
It's vacant right now.
Yeah, I think so.
That's where they're proposing those two
Yeah.
buildings.
I guess that's a question for Mark.
Mark? Do they have to show all of 75 if that's where the drainage basin is gonna be on their plans?
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to have an overall plan that shows that parcel, but I'm not sure it has any
Just-
impact on it.
When that shows the.
yeah, even if it's like a smaller key plan kind of thing.
Yeah, we can do that. Then you could have like a master plan.
And signing proposed?
Eric had sent us that comment early on, and we took that sign off.
It's still in the rendering. The monument and the sign on the building.
On the
still in
architecture?
Rendering, so,
Oh,
right, isn't that a sign at the corner?
oh, yeah, yeah, I can
And
see that, yeah, we can.
The one that the arrow's on and the one on the building, I think.
That, if that's just
an
an address, then yeah, the address is.
It's just the address. Oh, it looks big for the address.
I think that's one of these same elements.
Yeah, but still, I think that's,
Survey.
6 to 8 foot wide, right? Like,
It's a big address. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make that a little smaller. Not a problem.
We can, we'll check, make sure it's.
What are the other, I mean, just consistency?
Do they
the upper
louver?
building. No.
Details or the dark brown?
No, they're just different colored block.
Recessed with any sort of shadow line or anything? Or are they just flush with the rest of the?
Flush.
Yeah, it's probably a little depth in there. Huh? Yeah.
I would think maybe, I mean, those are opinions that I can keep to myself today. Maybe not split it right in half, makes it look a little squatty.
Are there the other buildings around corporate, do they have numbers and sign, I mean, he owns all of those. Like, they're all fairly consistent. Right? So.
Yeah,
The same building as everything else.
Yeah, you wanted them building.
So, you know, numbers and all that, like, let's just make them the same so that there's consistency through the parks.
Mhm.
Sure.
So more signage coming back later or?
I don't think so, because that was a multi-tenant sign and
Yeah.
I don't think he's got multiple tenants right now, so if he did down the road, maybe, but
Yeah, right now it's just one tenant.
yeah, it's.
Any other questions, comments? Mark, anything else? I mean, I think you've given all your feedback so far.
Yes, haven't really done a detailed review of this. I guess they did a split previously. I guess that really needs to be updated. I think, you said you had received some comments from me. I think that was in there.
Yes, it was.
That it needs to be updated per the current regulations, so.
This detail you could probably remove if you're not doing.
Yeah, that was a leftover from 75 package, because we're trying to kind of merge them together, so that's not applicable to 31.
Okay.
Did you
All right.
note that for when you go into work tomorrow? We left that wrong detail on there. There.
That's alteration.
All right, good, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what are our kind of next steps? Work session or?
You have some updating to do. Do we feel like we need a work session on this one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We don't have any major questions.
Yeah, we saw.
Do you guys have any questions, like from our questions? Is there anything you're not clear on?
No.
Yeah.
So I think address all of Mark's comments, get a clean set of drawings. The next submission date is 2 weeks from today. To be on the second meeting in April. And so I think that should be your target at this point.
And if the easement's still being worked out, could it be approved contingent on that? I don't know, if that's gonna move,
Let's do the easement first.
because that's gotta go to town council.
I think we usually like to see the
Yeah,
easement
it's gotta be
first.
clean on that. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay,
So we can't really approve it if the easement doesn't go through.
okay, if we get everything done, then we could be.
Yep.
Next time with you guys, just waiting on that.
Yep.
Okay, alright,
yeah, so let's get it all cleaned up, ready to go, and then just as soon as that's done, finish up.
and hopefully we'll be back with 75 at some point. Or
Good.
summer, hopefully.
Get this whole thing done.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yep, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, last up, we have Bud Boys Supply Company.
Thanks, Eric. You too.
Thank you.
Hi,
How are you?
good, how are you?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Kayla. I'm just representing the Bud Boys today.
Okay,
It's our first time in front of you guys, so I don't really know what we need to do or.
Just what they just did.
Yeah.
Same thing.
give us a rundown of what you're looking to do, modifications to the site, building.
So it's gonna be a dispensary. We don't really have any modifications besides like general things like floors and stuff like that.
So with the building, it sounds like all your interior,
Yeah, it's just all interior.
we're not really concerned as much with the interior.
Okay,
We're gonna be looking at site modifications, so things like your drive-through, screening from the neighbors in the neighborhood. There's a vacant building on the corner. What are the plans for that?
so the building on the corner is gonna stay vacant. It's the same owner, but
Right.
we're not gonna do anything with the building.
So I think that needs to get cleaned up as well.
Okay.
As part of this project.
Okay.
It's not gonna sit vacant. I mean, I think we'll look at this whole project on one parcel right now. So we need to understand kind of if it's vacant, but that building's gotta get cleaned up and tied with the rest of the building there. We'll have some site comments, things like, extending curbing out to the street to clean up those edges. We've got the residential area just to the south right there. Because of the use, there's gonna have to be a fence along that south property line.
Opaque fence,
Yeah.
right? Like, so
Correct.
between commercial and residential, a non-see-through fence.
Okay.
So typically like a vinyl, looking picket fence kind of thing.
Does it have to be a fence? Can it be like all bushes?
Generally, it's
No,
gonna be more of a fence.
yeah,
in
cause
there.
it has to be opaque throughout all the seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, and so most of the, like, it would be like see-through at some point. To keep the lights away from there.
So it's more like a chain link fence with the vinyl ran through it?
No.
No.
A picket fence.
No.
Because there's no fence now there.
Correct.
So I'm just a little confused because Chase operated there as retail for quite some time, as I'm sure you all know, and they didn't have a fence there. And there's nothing there now. So what prompted a fence now?
Well, so I guess procedurally, because of the use, there's a special provision in the code that this requires a specific use permit.
Right.
The specific use permit, so after you get through here with like a generally good plan, this board is going to make a recommendation to the zoning board of appeals. They're the ones who are going to issue a specific use permit. And you can go to the code and look at the criterion, but a lot of it has to do with compatibility with the area and the neighborhood and several criteria. So this is a brand new use. So whatever happened there before doesn't matter.
Okay,
So this
but it
is,
is still retail. I just want to make sure that you're very clear and understand. This is a retail business. Chase was a retail business, and I understand that there's a special permit involved. I'm just what prompted the fence.
well, this is what we're talking about, that
Okay.
there's different, it's not the same use. It is a specific use in the code and it does have very specific criteria that are gonna be followed.
Got it.
And even banks have different criterion. It's not just retail. There are
Right.
banks sometimes different criterion than other uses in this code. Where a bank can go.
I looked at the code and I'm not challenging by any means,
Yeah.
so please don't take
Yeah.
it as that. And I didn't really see anything that prompted a fence to go up there.
And,
That's why you're here.
Right,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
and that's the
Yeah.
purview of the board. We can
Yeah.
make, that requirement as part of the special use.
right.
In there.
Oh.
Buffering between that residential neighborhood and your property.
Right.
In a sense. There's also additional people that are driving across the grass to get.
Yeah, I mean, they
So-
just drive right through the park and
Right,
I mean, it's
so
more of a hazard than anything.
Having that there to screen your property from that
Right.
residential property.
Right.
Could be part of this.
Yeah, we're thinking about putting parking blocks up just to kind of prevent people driving through there.
Yeah.
It's quite the nuisance, I'm sure you can imagine.
Right.
Well, it's been vacant for some time.
Yeah,
6 years or so now.
and then drive through, is there? Our orientation, did they talk about?
Well, if the fence goes up. I guess. The question is. Where's the property line, right?
Probably right at the drive through.
Mhm.
Are you using both lanes?
We're just gonna use one to start.
3 lanes. 3.
Well,
Didn't we
that-
make
that-
somebody narrow theirs out, like, it's here, like Taco Bell or something, that we let them get right up against the line?
Yeah.
Well, that's something for discussion. I don't know if you want to have that narrowed, if there's a fence, if that's going to be sufficient. You know, they'll have to be, you know, we have to measure out the stacking requirements, obviously. That's a usual thing, and there are, I mean, it probably meets it because it was there before, but you need to show the stacking, that's part of the requirements on there in the code.
What are the stack?
What are,
What goes on?
Cars lined up.
Oh,
Yeah, we have
Viewing.
requirements for the drive-through application.
yeah, I was a little skeptical of the fence, only because it kind of creates like a barrier for the people who live there.
right,
So
exactly.
that's people's homes, and I was a little skeptical, and that's why the young lady kind of recommended seeing if maybe we could do like some agribitti trees or something along those lines to kind of create privacy and separation, but it's not like a fence that separates the two.
How much, and how much space do you have? Like before the parking and before your property line, because like to have a
There's space there.
opaque
space.
arborvitae, you're looking at like, you know,
Right.
almost 20 feet, because you gotta put in a couple rows and
And they grow
everything.
pretty wide too.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, no, there's space there for sure.
and then like my arborvitae's right now are completely bare up to 6 foot because that's how much the deer eat. So it wouldn't be doing what we want it to do, is we want it to block the lights from going into the neighborhood as well, like any car lights. It blocks noise, it does all of that. It kind of gives that buffer from commercial to residential.
With the fence,
Mhm.
yeah.
Generally, when we're talking about updating sites, I think I talked about this, the curbing, we gotta bring the curbing out to the street. So there's general things that I know the site's been vacant for a while, but we bring them up to town standard when we have the opportunity, and this is the opportunity that we have.
Right.
Is this a current site plan?
It's the current survey.
So we will need a site plan. Work with a professional, provide a site plan that would show what's on the survey and also what's proposed, like a fence and the new curbing and all of
We have an
that.
architect working on it right now, with
Great.
the parking lines and stuff that they had mentioned to me. So I'll add the fence onto it.
Yep.
For her to add.
And then work with them on that building. I don't know what your plans for the building are, whether it's now or in the future, but
So when I rent, so I'll back up, I'm trying to just give you the backstory of this property.
do you want to just, I'm sorry, introduce yourself?
My name is Rodney Hames.
Okay,
I own the business and also the property.
okay,
I was a tenant at this property, and it became to the point where I had a first right of refusal for the property. 3 months after renting it, some people, realtor contacted me, told me, we have an offer. It's yours if you wanna buy it because you have the first right. I ended up buying the property, and I'm gonna be honest, it's been a really big headache ever since. I would like to open it as a licensed cannabis dispensary. As I'm sure you guys know, it's pretty neglected. It needs a lot of money dumped into it, a lot of time and energy and effort, and I'm willing to do it, but I just don't wanna waste any more of my time and energy with properties. It's gonna be somewhat of a seamlessly, easily kind of thing that I can get up and going. I'm gonna do it, and if not, I'm probably gonna put it back up for sale. Because I just don't want a project that's gonna slow me down for what I have going on. I own other businesses, I'm very busy, as I'm sure you guys all are, so. Again, if it's, you know, just landscaping, fences, things along these lines to make it a viable project and a viable property for the town of DeWitt, I'm more than willing to, you know, and continue investing into it. I had initially had bought the property because I thought that I could do a dispensary at the old Chase Bank, the main building itself, and then the garage property that you referenced earlier. I thought that we would be able to make that a licensed cannabis lounge. That's also gonna be rolling out with New York State here momentarily. Since then, and unfortunately, after buying the property, I was informed by codes that you can only do one use at the property. So that kind of ruled out of that being a lounge at that other structure that's at the end of the property there. Closer to it.
I don't
it's
think
not the
that,
one use.
it's not, that's not the issue. It is what, it is the location.
Proximity to residential.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
well,
and
so
you-
many feet
You
within.
can't have a dispensary and consumption on the same lot.
Yeah,
Well-
that's one thing, and also it's too close to residential use, so you would never be able to have a lounge there.
Got
No,
it. And that's according to what New York State's reg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
And that it's too close to residential for whose
That's in our.
regulation?
For towns, for town.
Towns,
Yeah.
Cause you guys have regulations for the lounges already.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
got it.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah, so that building now at this point is, we have no intentions of using it really for anything.
Yeah.
I got like an old car parked in it right now as we speak.
And that might be fine, maybe in the future you do use it for something, but I think what you need to do now, is clean the building up.
Yeah,
So that it works with the site, and then
Yeah.
frankly, I don't really care about the inside.
Right.
That could be left as vanilla space for future development.
You just want it picked up and cleaned
It's
up.
gotta be, it's got, the whole site needs to be brought up to town standard,
Got it. Got it.
so. So we can get you a set of comments, work with your architect.
I did send her some comments already. Chris, this week you're working with the architect. Yep. So
Okay,
I sent
perfect.
after we talked at the window that day. Maybe you forward mine onto hers, but I
Yeah.
followed up. I talked with her on the phone.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, like they're saying, it will be curbing. So this granite curb will need to extend to the road.
And on the southeast corner.
Did make a comment about updating the existing light fixtures. The
For parking lot,
fence.
parking lot fixtures?
Yes,
Yeah.
the site light.
All your sight lines gotta be dark sky compliant.
I didn't really see what the existing lights on the building are, like the attached wall packs, but basically they can't aim upward. There should be full cutoff and aim downwards.
Okay.
So you may just need to update those, bring them up.
Are there any, I don't know, were any parking lot lights on the south property side, right?
I think it's just
It's just the one in the middle, right?
One in the center and then, no, nothing in front of the other building, but it looks like,
They look like newer LED lights. I don't know if that matters.
Look to the left though. That's all. What's the pole right there?
this pole.
No, to the left. Right back.
there's a power pole on the street, but
So you guys want a fence running that whole side of the property?
Yeah.
Yeah, just fence it
Yep.
off. That's easier for me, honestly.
yeah.
Well, I guess the
I thought it was
question
a
is,
basis for the neighborhood.
you can move it in and leave
I don't-
landscaping on the other side of it.
Yeah, you could, depends on how wide your drive aisle is.
Yeah, and what you wanna maintain, you could split it and keep like a little grass area on your side, their side, or, like you're saying.
What's the issue here? I'm sorry.
You were just saying that you
With
would,
the fences.
The fence,
Oh,
you
okay.
can,
Yeah, cause you can see that they can drive through there.
Right.
The way that it's currently
Yep.
set up. You want that fenced off as well.
if you don't wanna
Yeah,
drive
there
it
you
through
go.
there,
Yeah. Thumbs up.
I mean, otherwise, it looks a lot like a driveway.
And somebody had put parking blocks there at one point in time, and I seen a truck, I was just over there a few days ago picking up all the trash, and some guy just came through with his pickup and just went right through it, I'm like, alright.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we'll finish,
Yeah.
you've already given comments and.
What's the curbing thing? I just wanna make sure I understand that.
So much like, well, let Eric.
You see it over there. So basically, the curbing stops right here.
Mhm.
It needs to extend to 3 feet from the shoulder. So. Like this one's okay. But this should have curbing it should end 3 feet from the shoulder of the road.
Got it. So you want curbs all the way through there?
Yeah, so anyway, there's like that side, I think. The other side of that pork chop and then that southeast. Side here, and generally, when we look at it, we like to have that curbing come back and kind of return to the inside.
It's just buried a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's like a bunch of
Oh,
stuff.
perfect, I mean, it's already there,
You
just
might
clean
have
it out.
to reset it all,
Right,
yeah.
but, so that one can come back and that, because it doesn't have any parking there, we'll bring it back into the site far enough that. It helps contain the site.
Got
It can fit die down, doesn't need to run all the way back.
Oh. So just like a lot of cosmetic landscapes.
Yep, it's just
Expensive.
bringing it up to the town standard.
Yeah, and it sounds like the highway department would like you to clean up the right of way, like all along the site where there's town right of way, the landscaping?
Yeah, yeah, when we bought it, it was, I mean, it's bad. It really is so set vacant for the last 6 or 7 years now at this point. What's crazy is like, I don't even, like, regulations and codes must have changed since Chase owned it. But it sounds like we had to do a lot of upgrades just on the inside of the building itself, just to kind of make it compliant with what the state's regulations are at this point. So, yeah, that's not a big deal, we can get that done.
Are you proposing signage?
I submitted that with all of the paperwork.
With the initial submission.
I can drop it back.
Okay.
It was just,
We haven't.
it was just like Chase's was, it was the two, one on one side of the building, like facing that street and then one facing this way.
So
one is in the parking
that was
lot.
dropped off, I've got the fork from and the survey.
Yeah, I'm not sure we got to this, would be good, Eric, go back to the
Lines.
aerial on site, because. Go into the parking lot so we can see the building and sign. Because really, you're allowed to have the sign, so that Chase on the side of the building there is not actually allowed. That one, that's.
Oh, which way? That one.
You have access to.
Yeah, but then it would,
Facing the.
So no sign is allowed there.
I guess.
I think we have to look at.
Yeah, we need your proposed.
Yeah, let's see the signs and then we'll get the orientation and we'll review the code. I don't want to tell you what you can and can't do.
Okay.
Where does
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
one
So it's-
show?
yeah. Right?
Yeah,
You don't have.
It is, one was right here and then one was over here.
Yeah, and then it's on the other side,
Like on. This space or
This one.
basically you're allowed.
No, it's on the other side, it's closer to the road.
There's two.
Yeah, I know, there's one on the side near the entrance, and then there's one on the front of the building.
Yeah, I already showed the front of the building one.
That was the side, one, too.
that was the side, yeah.
yeah, I think that's the side.
It's on the other side of that building.
Well, when you,
Yeah.
get us the sign plan and the site, then we can tell you what the
Like
code says.
that's the
Make
front,
sure it
but like,
complies.
what, but I guess I don't know. So that's what Jamie's saying.
Provide building elevations that show where the signs will be located, the dimensions, like what kind of sign it is.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay. Are you proposing a monument sign or just building sign?
Just building sign.
Um. So the architect is doing your site plan? I
Yes.
hope she has a friend, a site friend. I'm an architect, I could never do a site plan by myself. Yeah, I
So-
think Nate too.
So all the comments basically are gonna have to be shown on the site plan, and I think like Eric, you're gonna send comments about
Yep,
the
so I-
requirements and.
So I've sent an initial
That's
set
pretty much
to the architect. I'll follow up with what was kind of discussed today.
Okay.
I'll send that to the architect. I'll copy you. I have your email.
Perfect.
So it would show if you were gonna keep all the drive-through lanes, or if you were gonna kind of abandon one for now. It would show the stacking and the distance that you need for stacking in that drive-through lane. And then, you know, all the other things that we mentioned, like where you had to add curbing or where you were restoring the curbing that's there, where you're gonna add the fence, and if there was gonna be any green on either side of it that you're maintaining. And then on the site plan, you could also note like that other building is just getting cleaned up, like if you're doing anything in front of their site wise.
But have the elevations of that building as well, show the work.
Could that building be used for signage at all down the road?
Not for this. Not for this building.
You're allowed one sign per street facade to which the lot has access. So basically, this side, you have access to Court Street Road, so you could have a sign there. Here, to me, it appears that this faces North Midler, so I would think you could have a sign there.
I guess, yeah.
Problem is that building blocking the whole back building.
So you're gonna knock it down and get rid of it?
We'll clean it up, huh?
There you go.
Take the car out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that building right out. Okay, that all seems reasonable.
Pennies on the dollar.
Do you guys want color elevations? That was a question the architect asked me.
Photo.
Yeah, I don't think we need color
You're not
elevations,
modifying
but we
anything.
do want, like, if you're changing finishes or
Are you painting any of the trim or?
The signs
Changing any of
that-
the colors on the building? or-
Outside?
Yeah,
the signs
Right.
that you're proposing, we typically get in color, but the building elevations, we don't need her to render them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very bizarre property.
We've seen so much, this isn't even facing
No,
us.
this is easy.
This is an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you familiar with the process though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, I mean, if you wanna talk to,
yeah,
So
so
what is-
you'll pull this whole package together. This was just kind of a concept presentation.
Mhm.
You'll pull this whole package together, submit it back to Eric in the town. We'll do another kind of meeting. We'll probably have a work session with you guys.
And that's when we just sit down and we talk about all the changes that you made with your architect too. And then if we have any additional comments before the meeting, they can make any quick changes. So then when you come to the meeting, it's kind of more pulled together how like fast other people zipped through today.
Yeah.
It's because we had those workshops with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so those meetings, you'll generally, like today's the deadline for the next meeting. So you're not able to get it in now. So 2 weeks from now would be the next deadline. To get material in, we would likely schedule you for a work session. And then after that, we'd make updates and we'd have you into the one after that. So there's a little bit of
We
time
meet
in
every
between.
2 weeks, unlike other towns that meet every 4.
And need to refer to the ZBA.
Correct.
Once we get to a point where the planning board's comfortable with everything, then it gets referred to the ZBA for the specific use permit.
What's the ZBA?
Zoning Board of
Zoning
Appeals.
Appeals.
Yeah, they're the ones who review the specific use permit.
And they'll approve that one. So you'll have to go to them. So we'll make the recommendation. You heard 2 recommendations here tonight. You'll go to the ZBA. Present to them. They'll either approve or deny the special use. Then you'll come back to us for final. So we'll do the preliminary. We'll address everything. We'll do that recommendation. You'll go to them. You'll get hopefully the approval from them. And then you come back to us and we'll finalize the site plan.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll get so much practice at the end, you'll be like, I'm a pro at this.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that finalizes our agenda for the evening. Any other business? Motion close. Any, Kathy, all in favor? Kevin didn't even get his hand up.
Kevin,
Thank you.
he made like a New Year's resolution that he wasn't gonna do it anymore. I feel like he did, he hasn't